Now we have come to our last presentation, and it's from Estonia. Üllar Alev is an engineer working for both Tallinn University of Technology and the Heritage Board. And he's here to talk about Estonian experience with the energy efficiency and heritage homes. Please.
Hello. This topic was given to me, and the following slides will be about my thoughts about opportunities and challenges, as the topic says. We should begin with the question, what is modern and comfortable home? In my opinion, the preferences depend on the owner's background. If he or she is from city or from rural areas, is this home used as only as a home or also as a workplace? What about the ease of maintenance and cleaning? It is all about background. How stable the indoor temperature should be. For example, the picture on the right is old stove, what gives quite good stabilization for the temperature due to the large mass of it. I think that every home should have adequate heating system and also natural light from the windows, and all of us need up-to-date bathrooms and kitchens. These are the modern requirements. All of us from the Heritage Board and also owners focus on the result. The goal is a good-looking, energy-efficient home with healthy indoor climate. I think the assumptions in apartment buildings should be willingness and cooperations between the owners. Also some financial resources and skills and knowledge to do the big renovation works. And if there is no cooperation between owners in smaller buildings, then the outcome may be like this. I think there is nothing good about these facades. We should start by questioning for every building how valuable is the existing structure and its components. Is it possible to make a copy of some of these, for example, the wooden boarding or other elements? In what condition is the structure or parts of it? Is it possible to preserve the structure by exposing it, or is it sometimes better to cover it to preserve it for later generations? How do the building elements interact with each other, different projections and transition elements, and how much we can modify these when we consider different insulation measures. In many of these houses in the smaller towns, we need complete renovation, which is not small repair work anymore, and it is due to the decades of neglect, and also the owners have left and not used the apartments anymore. So many of the buildings are in very bad shape, and it's hard to restore its former glory, as the owners would like. some inappropriate solutions from the street level, different heat pumps and ventilation pipes on the roof. These are not suitable for heritage buildings, in my opinion. So we are coming to challenges and opportunities. I have brought out several of these. Firstly, during the renovation, many of elements are getting lost or are simplified, especially the decorative details. Opportunity is to rebuild the historical details, restore the building's original character. When we renovate part by part, then it is due to high cost of complete renovation all at once. So often it results these inconsistent solutions showed also before. But we have also opportunity to create firstly a long-term renovation plan. In that we can prioritize the different works based on their impact and importance. Thirdly, often owners want to use the cheapest materials, and often this gives poor durability of these solutions. We should consider the long-term cost instead of the short-term renovation cost, and consider the effectiveness of the materials and also their lifespan. Some owners want to replace traditional finishing materials with modern ones. For example, instead of using plain wooden cladding, they use cheaper, finely sewn, unprofiled cladding, or even cement fiberboard imitating the wooden boards. This is not quite suitable for these heritage buildings. I think in that case we should consider the downsides of the modern solutions. For example, the sawn surface in city will become dirty faster compared to plain surface, and after that it is harder to clean and also repaint. We should ask, is it cheaper or not? If the maintenance is avoided, this is kind of trend also. When owners think that they have done a large work and it should last for decades without any maintenance. And also they try to choose solutions which are maintenance free. For example, wooden windows have to be painted regularly, but it is also possible to choose PVC window which doesn't need that. Opportunities to consider a balance between desire for low maintenance and compare it with the aesthetic and environmental impact of these different materials and solutions. During the renovation, sometimes the insulation work is poorly done or with inadequate sealing of the different joints, corners, windows, so on. We should instead invest in high-quality insulation materials together with skilled workmanship to ensure the optimal outcome and energy efficiency. In the heritage buildings, the energy calculation today is not required, therefore it is not done also. It means that often there is no prioritization of the works based on the energy saving potential. Opportunity is to conduct an energy audit to identify areas where the energy efficiency can be improved, and also the potential energy savings together with the value in money, such as improving insulation, upgrading heating systems, installing energy efficient windows, and so on. Common opportunities which are done. I would say that wooden houses are generally easier to insulate compared to stone houses. We have quite many wooden houses in Estonia compared to other countries and their traditions. We should explore the specific insulation challenges in our buildings and seek advice from professionals. Consider appropriate insulation materials and techniques for the type of specific construction type. Common practice is to add insulation layer behind the wooden cladding if the cladding needs replacement due to its condition, nevertheless. It's common to replace single glazing in inner frame of the double framed windows with double or triple glazed units to get better performance of the window. It is common to replace old stoves with district heating based system, especially in old towns where it is possible, otherwise it is not possible. Or also the stoves can be replaced with other effective heating source, for example, different heat pumps or pellet boilers. We should consider the overall impact of these upgrades on the building appearance and also in the performance of the overall building. Improving energy efficiency. I think unless it is subsidized or provided energy source will become difficult to access, then the reason for energy savings is something other, such as the end of useful service life of system or structure. It is old or deteriorated, or the increase of its maintenance costs will become a reason. Also, we want better comfort, removal of the draft or cold, for example. We want to improve our indoor climate. We would like to preserve the value of the property or increase it even. We would like to upgrade systems or equipment to meet modern requirements. Therefore, together with these repair works or improvements, it is reasonable to seek also energy saving possibilities. For example, if the wooden boarding is replaced, then it is reasonable to consider adding an insulation layer behind the new boarding. But before we do the deep energy renovation, we need something more. In the cities, we need modern utilities. We need functional street stormwater systems. As you can see on the photos, there is not the reasonable system, and houses will become damaged. And the owners don't want to renovate if the damage will continue. Also, big trees need to removed before renovation. Also, the road level should be lower near the old houses. It has increased during the decades. The sidewalk should be repaired or reconstructed. The street lighting should be adequate. These are both for security reasons on the neighborhood, and also old abandoned houses should be demolished because they may be hazard. They are not safe. Just a few photos, for example, about the windows. Windows are considered as a soul of the building. Their design and installation is crucial to the overall success of the renovation, and different windows on the one house is not good practice. And to conclude, we should first define the scope of the works, and when we decide to do limited works, then there are more constraints. We can't do or overcome some limitations. When we take broader scope, we renovate all the house all together with then there is much more flexibility. A full renovation is often needed to address all the accumulated maintenance issues shown before. A comprehensive plan should be done, just not 1 year work, or it should consider longer perspective to assess the challenges as a whole. A larger scope allows for more design options, especially insulation options. It is important to keep the visual and technical outcome as good as possible and integrate different elements. And the principle should remain: do it as much as necessary and as little as possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Üllar. Any questions now? Yes.
I think it's worth talking a bit more about the maintenance again too. Have you got any idea of how far people could get just by getting their building into a good state of maintenance?
I think when the building is regularly repaired and the maintenance is the priority all the time, then we don't need this complete renovation. But we have quite few of these houses where the regular maintenance has done. And it is due to the history of Estonia. During the occupation time, there was no maintenance.
Oh, well, I mean, they had no maintenance in England. They weren't occupied, so I don't think that's I think it's also the fashion, as you said. But I was wondering about how much of the discomfort we feel that leads us to doing massive changes for energy is coming from the buildings being damp, actually, because they've lost their water shedding features, or their renders, or they're just badly maintained. Either they're badly maintained, neglected, or they're badly maintained, not doing the right things.
I agree, both. Can you specify your question? I don't.
I'm just thinking of a church in England where it had a massive problem of it was part of the Damp Towers program, looking at towers with church towers with a lot of damp problems. It had ferns growing on the inside. And they decided in the end, after trying all sorts of other things, to go back and re-render just the tower, not the church. Now, this church was so cold that even in summer they used to hold, even in winter they used to hold their meetings outside the church because they could not bear to be in the church. It was that cold. Summer and winter, it was awful. They re-rendered just the tower. They came back 2 years later for a meeting, and it was snowing outside, so they went into the church and they had a 2.5-hour meeting before they realized they'd forgotten to put the heating on. It was perfectly warm and comfortable.
I agree that heating systems can be upgraded, and if you talked about churches, then the temporary heating systems are quite good idea, and these are also becoming used in Estonia. I don't know if we can live without them in Estonia.
Okay, any more questions, Üllar? If not, then first I would like to thank, and Estonian ICOMOS would like to thank all the participants and all the presenters of today. Thank you.